What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about strategy today, MSTR. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, all right? It is the 30th of April today. We're sitting here at about $377. 5 hours, 9 minutes left in this day, in this month. It is the last day of the month here, and we're looking pretty good, man. Yesterday, Bitcoin closed down about 0.75% to the downside, had a red day. MSTR actually closed 3% to the green side, and here we are today, a little bit down, sure, a little bit down, but Bitcoin, it hasn't really moved too much. You're showing some resilience, looking pretty good. I think that you will continue to grow, right? I think that getting into this overbought zone is a strong signal that you will continue to grow. Now, if you drop today or tomorrow, right, you see like a little bit of a pullback, that's fine. Inevitably, though, over the days, over the weeks to come, you're on a path, a clear path higher. And ultimately, I think you'll be going to prices that are above $1,000. If we look at this here, we got overbought. The last time that it had been some time since we've been overbought was here. Once we got overbought right here, we moved up. We actually moved up for another day. We got overbought on this day here, and we moved up the very next day, saw a nice little 6% pump, and then we consolidated a little bit, but inevitably continued to grow. Then we consolidated, then grew, consolidated, grow, right? I expect us to be on a very similar path to what we're doing there. We're even kind of behaving similarly as to what we did here whenever we first got overbought there, right? If we do pull back from here and we get out of the overbought zone, it's not a problem. We've done this before. As long as we're holding, above the 60 or above the 50, I don't have a problem with it. Ultimately, I think that we are in the middle of a breakout move from this Eve and Adam pattern. And if that is the case, we have higher to go. We certainly do have higher to go from a low to a high here. The measure move would dictate that we see prices all the way up at about $507 before we really consolidate any further, right? So we could, on that path higher, we'll have red days. We'll have days where we move down, but ultimately I think we're just going to be on this path up until we see $500 or more, and then maybe we get some more significant consolidation, and then we move up more, right? I very much doubt that once we hit this level, the measure move of this bottoming pattern here, I very much doubt that once we hit that level, it's over for MicroStrategy, right? Or that we will just continue going through at this kind of pace. We'll probably see some kind of consolidation effect happen around $500. Nice psychological level, right around your all-time highs, and you've got the measure move there. I mean, come on, it's probably, you're probably going to find some resistance around there, and it's not going to be months of resistance. It's just going to be, a little bit of time, a little bit of time of resistance. Looking at this on a 3-hour time frame. 3-hour time frame here, you dropped a little bit, but there's no volume at all. In fact, the volume's coming in now as you're moving up is what it looks like. 3-hour RSI is bullish as hell, you guys. Crazy bullish. There is some bearish divergence, but in all fairness, you've already gone down to where the divergence started. You've effectively cleared out that bearish divergence. So if you're looking at this saying, well, there's bearish divergence, we have to go lower. Well, we did. That's exactly what we just did. You're right, but we already did it. So we don't have to go lower than this. We could. It's possible, but I don't think we do. I think we've got more growth to go. Let's look at the 1-hour time frame here. 1-hour time frame, we've got lower highs here, right? Higher highs there. That is bearish divergence, but again, we already had the move down. I think that's exactly what that was there. And if you see the volume that we had, it looks like that was a lot of buying that happened there, right? We had our opening candle, right? We opened to the downside, flushed people out a little bit because Bitcoin's in the red, and now we're coming up. I find it interesting. We're up this hour. We're green. Okay, no, Bitcoin's green too. Okay. I thought we were red. Look at that. Bitcoin might be coming back too, man. That'd be nice to see. Ultimately, with Bitcoin, while we're talking about it, I am a little bit more cautiously bullish today than I have been throughout this whole range here. I am a little bit curious to see if we do see a pullback down to about $87,000, $88,000 and then continue to run. For a while I was laughing at that. I made fun of that because I thought that's what the average person thinks. That's what the majority of the market thinks. So therefore it's not going to happen. But now that we've developed so much so like this, we look very comparable to this here. I'm sure people are putting 2 and 2 together. And now if the majority of the market is expecting that we go higher, instead of going lower, that actually ups the chances that we do go lower first instead of going higher, because the market's not meant to agree with the market participants. It's meant to defy you. It's meant to take the average person's money and put put money into the hands of the few. You know, that's what the point of the market is, right? That's kind of how it works. So if the average person from here is connecting the dots that we look very similar to this consolidation phase here, and we might move up, that would actually up the chances that we do move down, which is fine. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If we move down, we find support at prior resistance, that's fine. It's very normal. It's very expected. It's not bad behavior. But with that in mind, I would say today we have a higher chance than we have really over the past few days of seeing some kind of retracement. And if that happens, MSTR might pull back as well. Today is Wednesday, so we have today, tomorrow, and the next day for the week to end. If Bitcoin were to make this move over the weekend and then kind of recover by Monday, then perhaps MSTR won't get hit as hard. But still, just offering the thought that if Bitcoin drops, we could see MSTR drop a little bit harder than I'm calling for, right? Maybe we do fall out of this range a little bit. Maybe we do pull back to 340, find support, and then continue. If that happens, everything's fine. It's just standard volatility, right? But it's not what I'm calling for. It's not what I'm expecting. Even with what I've said here, I'm still not expecting that we drop down here. I just accept it as a possibility, more so now than ever. I still am thinking that we just break away and go higher, but time will tell, right? I'm a little bit more weary now than I have been, but still remaining to the upside, okay? In case that wasn't clear. 15-minute time frame. I just want to check this out real quick. Load it up. Trading view. Let's go. 15-minute kind of looks bearish. 1 hour looks bullish. The 3 hour also looks bullish. So I don't know what to make of that. Daily time frame also looks bullish. So inevitably we're going to see higher prices. We're not done here, right? 377 is not the ultimate destination of this breakout, right? You've been consolidating now in a very nice bull flag. Okay, here's your flagpole. Here's your flag itself. It very clearly looks like a flag. It's a bull flag. We've just broken out of this downtrend, okay? If that's true, and it is true, if that's true, from a low point to a high point here, I'm going to get rid of the extension. Let's see, get rid of that. This is your measure move. We take this, we put you at the base of the flagpole here, or at the base of the flag itself, and that gives you a measurement all the way up to about $1,100. Now, the thing is with measure moves is they're not perfect. Sometimes you reach for that measure move and you fall shy of it. Sometimes you reach for it and you blow through it. You know, sometimes you do stop right at it, but to think that this is the measure move and that's all you need to know, we're going to $1,100, no ands, ifs, or buts about it. That's not the right way to be, right? Be accepting of the fact that we might actually see prices that are a little bit outside that range there. My guess, $1,113 being the measure move, my guess would be that we see something outside of it to the upside. I think that we're going to, whoop, I got to turn that down. Computer just went on overdrive mode because I plugged it in. I need to fix that setting. You know, if we look at it here, this in itself was a bull flag. We had a flagpole here and a bull flag right there. It was a little bit more horizontal, but still a bull flag nonetheless. If we take the base of the flagpole to the height of the flagpole here, we put this at the base of the flag there. The measure move was right here. Did we stop at the measure move? No, we grew. We saw more growth, but basically we did stop right here. If you sold where the measure move was, you're not going to be upset, right? Only be upset if we missed it, right? But my thoughts are essentially what we're seeing here is that the moves are getting bigger as time goes on. I think this move will be bigger than the last move. I think this will be the biggest move of the cycle so far for MSTR, and therefore I don't think that we'll stop at 1100, but probably something a little bit above there. If we take it from a high to a low here and we look at our fibs, you know, you've got just above the measure move here would be 1155 to 1273. It's a very strong possibility that we stop here. But if we don't stop there, the next target area would be 1600 to probably even a little bit above that. With the 2272 specifically, you don't oftentimes stop at the line, but a little bit above the line. So something around 1700, 1800 could happen. Hell, we could go all the way up to $2,156 at the 2618 as well. Anything and everything between about, I would say, 1200 to 2200 is possible. I'm leaning more toward this area or something just above 1600 myself. And this will all happen, in my expectation, by the end of June, if not sometime in very early July, right? That's kind of the path that we have ahead of us. So I don't know if there's anything else that I want to say. I think I've said everything that I need to say. Let's look at some ribbons on that note. Let's check out the ribbons, see how they look. Let's see. It's been a second. Been a couple videos since we talked about it. The weekly ribbons look phenomenal. Monthly ribbons look phenomenal. Yes, I mean, this is beautiful. This is a thing of beauty right here. I'm not going to lie. 3-day probably isn't as respected on the stock market. Daily ribbon got the cross. You didn't pull back. You're looking good. You're getting separation. It all looks good, man. Everything points to up. So I'm very convinced that MSTR will continue to grow. as long as Bitcoin holds up and doesn't pull back, even if it does, right? Even if we get a little bit of a pullback here, MSTR might pull back a little bit. Maybe we do, in fact, pull back to the ribbon. We'll find support at prior resistance, right at the ribbon, whatever, prior support, prior resistance. Bitcoin will start to move up and recover. MSTR will start to move up and recover. And it's just a matter of time, you guys, before we see prices at $500 in correspondence to this pattern right here, right to that measure move, which would be at about $500. It's just a matter of time before we break through that and we see new all-time highs as well. So hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. The path calls for higher prices in a very short amount of time. I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.